Good morning, great Americans. It's another great American video. Um, man, I just had to get on and make a super fast video, um, just to react to the Trump's speech to the joint session of Congress last night. I'm actually going to call this a follow-up to two of my previous videos. I'm going to put a link to two videos in the description of this video. One video is called Democrats' Corruption and the Left's Backlash of Hate, that I posted a couple of weeks ago. The other video is called The Madness Must End, which I posted approximately a month or so ago. And this is really sort of just a continuation of that because the Democrats are continuing their their insanity, their madness, and their hate. And once again, just when you think they have gone as low into the gutter as they can possibly go, they sunk even lower last night and they hit a brand new low. The way they disrupted the joint session was absolutely abominable. It was absolutely unacceptable. I mean, it reminded me of British Parliament. You know how they're all, you ever watch one of those British parliaments where they're all screaming and yelling at each other? But I don't think but that's Parliament, right? But if there was ever a speech given, even the British would never do that. If the prime minister gave a actual speech and wasn't just part of the daily, British Parliament routine, if the king gave a speech or the prime minister gave a speech, even the British would not do that. And they're bad. And that's part of their thing, and even they would not do it. But what the Democrats did last night was abominable and unacceptable, and it is further proof that they are unhinged to the point that they can never be allowed to hold the levers of power once anymore in the White House. And that party, that they call it the Democratic Party, but they're actually fascists and Marxists. That party must be. We have to do more than just win the White House and win a majority in Congress. They have to be eradicated. They have to be defeated so badly that they wither away. They are un-American. I mean, their positions are so far into the realm of madness and insanity that no sane person, no ethical person, no moral person can vote for a Democrat. I mean, they actually wore pink in solidarity with allowing men to participate in women's sports. I mean, the insanity level of that is just so far off the chart. They don't even live in the real world anymore. They don't live in the real world. They live in a world where you are whatever you think you are, and stuff is whatever you think it is, and it's like a world of the twisted mind where reality has no sub. It's like one of those Star Trek episodes where they're living in someone's mind, right? And that's the reality, but the real reality outside is has no, it doesn't make, but that plus the fact their hatred for Trump is all, and this is the rotten part, and I keep bringing this up. Their hatred for Trump is based on all lies. They and the fake news media have told so many lies about Trump that they've got half the country actually believing a pack of lies. If Trump actually did half the things that the fake news media accused him of doing, I would hate him too. If he was going to destroy democracy and he was going to kill homosexuals, right? If he was going to do all these things, I would hate him too. But I'm not stupid stupid enough to believe that. Look, he's doing great things. He's already sealed the border. There's no more. I mean, illegal entrance into the southern border is now down to a tiny trickle of a couple of people that managed to get through. He has identified billions and billions of dollars of most shameful and horrible waste and corruption, and the Democrats are mad at him for it. Well, that's because that's where their gravy is, right? They send money to insane things in other countries, and then that money gets kicked back to them. And why do you think Democrats are multimillionaires in Congress on a Democrat's paycheck? Come on, man. Connect the dots. But that behavior last night was abominable and unacceptable. And I stand here to repeat once again that which I have said many times before. The victory of Trump in this last presidential election is just the beginning. This is the beginning, the true beginning of the Civil War. On one side, you have Americans, patriots who put America first, who believe that America is a great nation, who believe in just normal standard morals, man and woman, two genders. I mean, you know that commercial Captain Obvious, two genders, men don't belong. And why is that even an issue? Men in women's sports. Can you imagine John F. Kennedy or Ronald Reagan or somebody dealing with an issue like that? They'd be like, what? What the fuck are you talking about, men and women's sports? That is the insanity to which Democrats have led this nation. That and many other things, the sexualization of children in schools and all kinds of stuff. So, Trump's victory is just the beginning of the Civil War. The question is, who's going to win this war? Are good patriotic Americans going to win and we finally defeat utterly and eradicate this fascist Democrat Party? Or are they somehow going to come back and win and it'll really be the end of America? Because when the time comes, if Democrats ever get the presidency again, especially if they get it for like 2 terms in a row, the Supreme Court will be destroyed and there will never be any backstop to them totally implementing their goal of establishing a Marxist socialist state. So this is it, man. This is it. There's no more room for assholes like Susan Collins and Murkowski to vote no against their own party. You're in a war, man. It's a war. Those days are over with. We have to shed ourselves of, it'd be like a soldier. Could you imagine being in a war with a soldier? And you see the enemy coming over the hill, and the soldier next to you is like, I don't really want to shoot at the enemy. I mean, I'm an American soldier, but I don't really want to, take sides against the enemy. Could you imagine that? That's what Susan Collins and Murkowski and a couple others are like. They got to go. This is a war. This is a war, and not only for you, but for your kids and your grandkids and their kids. If the Democrats were to win 2 more terms in a row in the White House, your great grandkids will be living in a Marxist socialist state with one-party rule. I guarantee it, man. Don't you dare think that I'm some sort of tinfoil. I'm not about any of that shit. I'm telling you the truth. It's already happened in California. For all intents and purposes, California is a one-party socialist state. And you see what they've done to the place. They've destroyed it. California is the model of what Democrats want to do to America. So anyway, back to the top of the video. This horrible, just childish. I mean, I can't think of how many names to describe how the Democrats behaved last night. Could you imagine if the Republicans had done that to Biden or Obama? There'd Their hair would be on fire over at CNN and NBC. And they would be going insane. But it's acceptable for them that they behave like this. My fellow Americans, I ask you to do, if you're a if you vote Democrat, I ask you to do what Tulsi Gabbard did, RFK, and I could name a whole bunch more. I mean, there's tons of Democrats who are just like, they're fleeing the party. Right? They're just like, we can't take this no more. I ask you to put country ahead of party and realize that even though you may not agree with Republicans on some issues, that there are bigger issues that have to do with the very survival of this nation. And you need to put country ahead of party and vote Republican and just be done with the Democrats. They don't share your values. They're going to destroy this nation. And you see, they act like a rabble. They acted just like Nazis in the Reichstag. That's what the not. Go see some old videos of the Nazis in the Reichstag before Hitler came to power. Sort of like in the mid 1930s, during what was called the Weimar Republic under President Hindenburg. The Nazi Party was growing, and they had seats in the Reichstag, which is their parliament, right? Like their Congress, parliament. Watch some old videos of how they behaved. They did the same exact thing that I tell you, these Democrats act exactly like Nazis in so many ways. They have thugs in the streets. They're Antifa. They do this in Congress, right? They take away guns, take away free speech, murder people by the millions. The Nazis murdered the Jews. The Democrats murder the babies. I mean, I could go down a bullet list, of 10 bullet point list where the Democrats are exactly the same as Nazis. They cannot win anymore. We are in the beginning of the final civil war in America. And shots have been fired. Trump was shot twice. We are in the beginning of the final civil war. So I tell you this in closing. Look at the links in the description of this video. Please click them all. I'm going to give you links to 3 videos, and I'm going to give you a link to my Substack page, which you can sign up for free. Please do that. And please remember, all the effort and all the work that you did to get Trump elected, you cannot stop. It's a war. You don't fight a battle one day and then sit down back at the camp for the next year. That's not how it works. War keeps going and going and going until the war is over. We are in a war against these anti-American forces that you saw disrupting the joint session of Congress last night. They're globalists. They're Marxists. They're socialists. It's a fact. We are in a war against them. We are in a civil war against them. And you must continue to fight every day. All that work and effort that you put into electing Trump, you must continue all that work and effort every day in any way you can, whether it's in groups like Moms for Liberty and stuff like that, or whether you're going to get some local people elected, city council, governor, mayor, school board. It never ends. It keeps going, because I guarantee you the other side has not stopped. They are doubling their efforts, and you need to double yours. Trump can only do so much, and he'll be gone in less than 4 years now. And then the war has to keep being fought. So that's it. So thanks again, great Americans. It was a great speech, except for these filthy fascist Democrats that are disrupted it. But other than that, it was a great speech. And I will see you in the next great American video. Adios, muchachos.